Happy fall! I am not sure if you're actually watching this tutorial in the fall or autumn or whatever you call it in your neck of the woods, but I am making this in the fall for you today. We are making a 100% natural pine cone necklace. I do consider the metal natural because metal does come from the earth. This tutorial is super simple, it is super cute, and it is great for the fall time of the year. And actually, while I don't suggest wearing this necklace in the water, you can wear it in the water for short periods of time. I wore mine in Lake Michigan. You can see that right here. And it actually closed up on me, which was super cute. I just love how pine cones adapt to the weather. Anyways, gather your materials and we will get started with this tutorial. Here's what you need to make your pine cone necklace. You will need a pine cone. I soaked mine in hot water and let it air dry. Make sure you pick one that is large and sturdy and has a nice shape. You will need a thin gold wire, or you could use silver or copper if you prefer. You will need about 2 feet of this. You can use some hemp cord or leather later if you would like to tie your necklace around your neck. You will need one of these tools. I do not know what it's called, but you use it to wrap wire around the tool and make a circle. You can substitute in a pencil if you would like, or a pen. The first thing you need to do to make your pine cone necklace is take the 2 ends of your wire and find the center of your wire and just pull it out like this. Now take your weird looking tool thing that I don't know what to call and take the smallest setting you see. There are 3 different circle settings you can make circles with. I pick the smallest one. You can use whatever you prefer. Put the end of your wire on that, and we are going to wrap it around that piece a couple of times. Once you have wrapped your wire a couple of times around the smallest setting on this weird tool thing, I want you to twist the 2 pieces of the wire together just a few times. Once you have done this, pull the wire off of your tool, and you will have a couple of rings that are kind of accordion-like. For the next step, take your longest piece of wire and you're going to wind it through all of the little pieces you have there. And you're just going to do that a couple of times so that all the pieces are roped together. Once you do that a couple of times, your wire should look something like this. You should have those circle loops looped together by little tiny loops. The tighter you do those, the neater it will look. I am doing this kind of fast and messy like I always do for tutorial sake. What we're going to do now is take that piece you were just working with and we are going to wrap it around the twisty part that we created earlier by wrapping the 2 pieces of wire together. So we're just going to wrap around that once, twice, 3 times, and maybe 4. Once you have this piece created, grab your pine cone and we'll move on to the next step. We are now going to take our pine cone and we are going to flip it over. I'm going to take my wire that I just created and hold it in place with one hand while I take the other hand and use that to wind one piece of wire through a couple pieces of the pine cone. Just try to find a good area. And then I'm going to wrap it around the core of the pine cone. This doesn't need to look fancy. This right now is just to secure the little piece here in place. And now what I want you to do is to take one piece of wire, you can pick which one you want to do first, and I want you to go through and just fill in the empty spots you see on your pine cone with more wire. Just wrap it throughout the different pieces you see. If you want to wrap it around any of these pieces, you can. I have one right here that I did before. So you can see I spent a lot of time wrapping around each individual leaf of the pine cone, if that is the proper term, and then in between them as well, all the way up to the tip. had a little bit of trouble working with this pine cone here because the wire kept getting snagged on my set, but I do have my other example here that you can look at. This is what yours should look like. The sturdier the pine cone, the easier it will be to work with. So I have one here. Also, the more opened up they are, the easier they are to work with. This pine cone isn't as opened and it's a little more brittle, so I did have a harder time. So make sure you're going with something sturdy that you find in the woods. So make sure that you forage a sturdy pine cone. So for the next step, I'm going to string a piece of hemp cord through my pine cone, and then I'm just going to tie it off. This one is just something that I can hang over my neck and slip on and off easily. If you would like, you can use a toggle closure of some sort to make this into a choker or a more tightly fitting necklace. But I'm just going to keep it like this because I like comfort. If you'd like to see this necklace in action, you can see this one in a video I did where I'm wearing it in the water in Lake Michigan, and the cold water actually got it to close up, which is kind of cute. Anyways, thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and you have a happy fall.